A family mystery turned into a tragedy. Two men are suing LA County. They say authorities knew where their missing father was for nearly 10 years, but never told them. CBS 2's Randy Paige has the story.
He was a good dad, you know.
Sort of the strong, silent type.
He stood 6'1", 230 pounds, and to his two young boys, Ronald Wenger was a giant of a man.
He was always the big guy. I don't think we ever worried too much when he was around.
Russ and Eric Wenger say their dad devoted his life to his family and to the tool and die business he hoped to pass on to his sons.
That was his dream.
But in the 1980s, this Wrightwood father's dream fell apart. He lost his business and his home to a bad economy. His wife filed for divorce. He lost custody of his two boys, and his mother died.
That's probably the first time I ever saw him cry.
Unemployed and alone, Wenger sold all of his family heirlooms. Then penniless, with his boys still in their teens, Ronald Wenger began his life on the street.
See the better part of 7 years?
Russ Wenger took us back to the small section of asphalt in Canoga Park where his dad slept.
He would tuck himself back in that corner.
The boys say they were never in a financial position to provide a home for their father. But for 7 years, they stayed in close touch. In fact, every Monday, they would buy their dad lunch at this restaurant just a few steps from where he spent the night. Then one day in late 2001, Ronald Wenger disappeared.
You know, searching hospitals and talking to the police department and trying to figure out what happened. Just vanished. Nobody would tell us anything. I mean, if they knew, they said, no, we don't have any record of him.
In June of last year, after nearly a decade of searching, the boys each got this 2-paragraph letter. It was from the county tax collector. It begins, "We regret to inform you of the death of Wenger, Ronald."
It's a big shock.
The letter unlocked a shocking truth, that their homeless dad had been in a coma for those 9 years, and county officials didn't inform them until after his death. Northridge Hospital records show Wenger apparently fell and struck his head, resulting in a severe brain injury and coma on November 23, 2001. His prognosis is poor, and the social worker has not been able to contact any relative or friend, the record states. Wenger, unable to speak or communicate, was transferred to various convalescent hospitals over the next 9 years. He died at this facility, less than 40 miles from Russ Wenger's home.
That's the terrible part, is not being able to say goodbye.
Just kind of like, it's almost like you got kidnapped. That's how it feels. Like somebody just came down, picked him up, and he's gone.
To me, there's no question that the fact that he was homeless is the reason this case happened.
Wenger family attorney Joseph Huprich, who is preparing to sue the county, says this hospital record shows the county knew Ronald Wenger's name back in 2001 when he was first injured, and yet the county-appointed conservator who took over the homeless dad's financial affairs repeatedly told the court Conservati has no known relatives.
At the beginning, they had his name and presumably some information they could have searched for the family very easily. You got to remember that the entire family lived for the entire 9 years in Southern California within 45-minute drive of Mr. Wenger the entire time.
So how difficult would it have been for the county to find Ronald Wenger's family? We decided we'd give it a try. We're logging on to LexisNexis, a public records database the county also uses. We'll type in Ronald Wenger's name and his approximate age. And with one click of the mouse, we see there is only one Ronald Wenger in Southern California. One more click, and we find his relatives, ex-wife Tony, sons Russell and Eric, and their addresses. It took us less than 5 minutes to find Ronald Wenger's family. The county didn't find them in 9 years.
At the very least, what he deserved was to have his family by his side.
He was probably thinking, you know, why haven't they come by? Where are they?
That's the thing that I think that tears at my heart the most, is thinking that maybe we didn't care.
Ronald Wenger's death certificate shows the county buried him at Riverside National Cemetery.
I guess today's the day.
Russ and Eric Wenger allowed us to go along with them as they muster the courage to find their dad's gravesite. Ronald Wenger's boys say their dad taught them to be tough.
He prided himself on seeing us grow up to be strong so that it made him proud.
So they displayed little outward emotion when they arrived at the grave.
You see where he's at now.
Each taking a silent moment while their tears fall quietly into the grass.
Yeah?
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah.
In Riverside, Randy Paige, CBS 2 News.
The LA County Office of the Public Guardian refused an on-camera interview, but said it had no record of the steps taken to find Ronald Winger's family. The office began using LexisNexis in 2007, but it never went back over cases and continued to maintain Winger had no known relatives.